yeah, you might have some haters, but don't go out with the intention of, yeah, we'll ever see these guys. So I'm just saying, as far as the beef, the competition part is always a part of hip hop because it's always a competitive thing. But I would just think it should be more peaceful. Like, well, yeah, you can let's try to make something out of this, exploit this, so we could get paid off of it, and maybe if all of our fans come and see if us booked at the same show together, it'll come bring out a lot of our audience, and we get a chance to see who really better.
Alright, yo, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So for all those crazy people out there who never heard of your boy, who ain't tapped in, they don't know what's going on. Boogie Down Bronx is in the building. Give us your name and tell us what you do in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I'm the rhyme inspector, Percee P. Yeah, from the BX.
All right. So let's go back to where it all started for you in New York, in the Bronx, all of that. How did you fall in love with hip hop?
With hip hop, well, I tell you, well, right there when it all started, you know what I'm saying? Like with the DJ Cool Herc. But when I was a little kid, going to my grandma's Sadie house, I would just say that. You know, my grandmother Sadie, 997 Morris Avenue. My mother's youngest brother, my uncle Cooley, my uncle Jesse, but his name was DJ Cooley Breeze. And way back in the early 70s, he was part of a crew called the Undefeated Four. And they got more members and they became the Undefeated Force. But as the Undefeated Four, you had my uncle Jesse's DJ Cooley Breeze, you had the amazing Bombay, you had B.O. Zonk and Tila Rock, the legendary Tila Rock, that's Special K's brother from the Treacherous Three. So as a little kid going to my grandmother's house, I had a lot of that influence. And then the park jams that took place on the streets all around me in the Bronx. So that's what inspired me. And then radio started getting involved, playing the music, and I was listening to that. And with the radio and just the streets, because it's something that was really done in the streets. So that was a part of the culture. And that's what inspired me. And my oldest brother, who was 5 years older than me, he's 2 years younger than my uncle Jesse, but my uncle Jesse just passed like December. So rest in peace to him. But December last year. But him and my uncle used to be together around the same age, and that's how I kind of inspired. Because my brother used to DJ too in the house and rhyme, and so that's how I was inspired with hip hop. Really.
I like that. So while you were in the house and things of that nature with your moms, your pops, your brothers, and things like that, listening to music, who was the first song or who's the first artist that really got to Percee P to say, yo, I'm doing this right here?
Well, like I believe, like most, it started from what I saw in the streets. But as far as records, when the Sugar Hill Gang and like those first records came out, that's what made me really want to rhyme. That was '79. So that's what made me want to start rhyming because those are songs that most people memorize to start singing on the street, you know. So when you started memorizing these songs, it made me just want to write my own. Like I should try to write my own little rhyme because they had a little instrumental on the flip side of the record, and you can just sing along to it. So that kind of inspired me. And then the park jams also want you to make you want to rhyme as well because it was something that at that time before records, the thing that you wanted to do as far as an MC was like y'all wanted to have enough juice to get on at a jam at a park. That's what they call it. But at that time, sometimes they would be like, yo, they rocking. They rocking over here in this park, or they rocking over there. So that was my inspiration, you know, as an MC, you know, trying to get on at a jam, never knowing I would make records one day.
Well said, well said, well said. So for Percee P at that time, obviously, later on now, but back then, how was your writing style? Was you writing the hook first? Was you writing the verse? Was you doing the bridge first? What was your
No,
writing style like back
now
then?
what it wasn't like now. Most people had like 16 bars and a hook. Back in them days, it was really just rhyming. A rhyme was like my rhymes were like one side of a paper and the other side, and that's the rhyme. It wasn't no 16 bars. It was just like flip side. Sometimes you had a long story rhyme. It could have been like 32 bars of a story, like and this the whole rhyme. It could have been like 32 bars or something. You know what I'm saying? But that's how we rhymed back then. When you started making records, like I would say like around in the 90s, people started, yeah, you know, you got to have the 16 bars in the hook, 16 bars in the hook. That started becoming like the formula. But I always said, you don't really need all that. I know it's seemed like that's what most people do, but hip hop is whatever you want to do. I have a song called Uncollapsed Lyrics that's just a straight long verse that I didn't want to cut up the rhyme because I felt it was good as is, but I didn't want to break the rhyme up to 16 bars, and it was probably like 32 bars song or something. But I'm using this whole thing in its entirety to make a whole record, just saying the whole rhyme from beginning to end, and that's the record. And I always said, to prove to you that you really don't need hooks, a song like Suck MCs by Run DMC, that didn't have no hook. Lottie Dottie, that didn't have no hook, that was just a rhyme. It's just going straight through. And Wu-Tang Clan made Triumph, that's a straight song going with no hook, protect your neck, you know what I'm saying? Just rhyming. So to me, it's like, it just depends on how good the song sounds to people. If they gravitate towards it and they appreciate it, then to me, I'll run with that than try to make a formula. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well said, well said. I like that. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast, and we are here with the one and only Percee P. That's right, the music industry's hidden gem right here on the Pimp Game Podcast. So let me ask you this. In terms of the name Percee P, I like it. It's catchy. It got a little flavor, all of that, and a bag of chips. What's up? How did you come up with the name Percee P?
I'm glad you said that. Since I'm from the old school, I started rhyming in 79. I don't know if I mentioned that to people. I started rhyming in 1979. So back in the early days, and let's just say if we go on talking from the 73 when they said Kool Herc started, from moving on, most artists at that time, DJs and MCs, had names like that. So I'm gonna give some names first. People like the Chief Rocker Busy B. The title, I'm the rhyme inspector, Percee P. So Chief Rocker Busy B, the Amazing Bombay, the Grand Wizard Theodore, the Grandmaster Flash. You know what I'm saying? People had names like that. You know what I'm saying? So the Grandmaster Cass, from the Cold Quest, Grandmaster Cass. So people had names like that. DLB from the Fearless Four, the Microphone Wizard DLB, the Devastating Tito. So people always had their little titles in front of their names, and Percee P was like Kumo D, Busy B, like, you know what I'm saying? Ice-T. So that era of MCs had names like that. Little name and a letter describing, after your name, whatever. But so that's how you could tell more so the era of MCs, that you come from.
Okay. I like that. Well said. So you work with some great producers, one including J Dilla. What's up? He is, since then gone, passed away.
Yes,
shout out to that brother, but he was a dope producer.
Indeed.
Right, I like that. I like that. So
right here.
I like that. I wanted to touch upon that. How did you get to work with J Dilla, and how was that experience with working with J Dilla for the first time?
Okay. Well, I really did one song with him, but I actually just one song. Just one song. It was on an album called J Lib, which I'm holding right here. J Lib is him and Mad Lib. I was signed to Stone Store Records. That's the record label that put out this record, and Mad Lib was a part of. But I was on the album already working on my stuff and like with other groups. But Stone Store signed me, and when J Dilla and Madlib was working together, I wound up on that album. The album was already done. It's called J Lib. It's for J Dilla and Madlib. So it's like J Lib together. J Dilla will rap over Madlib's beats. Madlib will rap over J Dilla beats. Now they had a few featured artists on the album. I'm one of the featured artists on the album, and the track I rapped over J Dilla produced. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't really a long song, but it was more like a verse, but it's still produced by J Dilla. That's how I wound up on the album working with him. But he wasn't somebody that I actually sought out. The label asked me to be a part of the album. And actually the album itself was done before I was asked, but some of the songs got leaked. The album got leaked. The label wanted to just make new songs and add extra. And that's how I wound up on that album, because if it was just put out the way it was at first, I wouldn't have been on it. But being that they had to re-record some songs and just to make it fresh material, I wound up recording a verse for it because I was recording my own album, which Madlib was fully produced my album and the remix album. So while I was in the studio recording for my music, I was asked to be on this J project and the J Dilla produced track. So that's how I want to go.
Okay. So let me ask you this. As an artist on a major record label, even an indie record label, what's up? Is that something where they come to you to do a song and maybe can you say no to that if you're not feeling the track or what have you? Does that cause a clash between the artists and the record label?
It could, but so I never really had problems. So for artists hit me up, major artists are indie, and I'm available for hire. So still right now, that's how I work. I'm on for hire, and major artists like J.75, they reached out to me for a feature, and Big Daddy Kane's. Me and Big Daddy Kane was featured on the same song. He flew us out to LA and we did the song, and that song wound up on some few soundtracks like the Hollywood Homicide movie soundtrack in America. It's a movie called, a documentary called Sunday Drive. The song is on that, and Tony Hawk video game, the video game Tony Hawk Underground. That same song's on that video game soundtrack, which I'm on 7 different video game soundtracks. I'm on 7 different video games, but one of those is the Tony Hawk Underground with the song they with Big Daddy Kane, Jurassic 5. And that was on a major label, Interscope Records. So that's a major label. But you have indie artists reach out as well. So I try to work with everybody.
So, Percee P, let me ask you this. Yes. When you're dealing with a up-and-coming artist, indie, maybe they ain't got the cachet as a Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole or the Baby, something like that. How is the process for them? Like in terms of, I don't know, your booking fee. How's the process for that dealing with them versus a major artist?
Yeah, I do have rates. So, I would just say, I do take payments, you know what I'm saying? Like the same way you do making a car payment, Everybody always has to make some kind of down payment. If you go into a hotel, they want a deposit. If you try to get a car, they want a deposit for you to even, you know what I'm saying? So it's like basically everything you're doing, you basically need to make deposits. It's the same thing as an artist. A record label going to pay you to even sign with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like joining a sports team. They're going to give you advance deposit, this kind of deposit to get you signed. So it's the same thing. So I always tell for artists, sometimes if you're trying to get out there, don't look at me as, oh, he just want money. No, I'm not. I don't just want the money. I got to survive in this world. But I am a talent, sort out talent. The labels, for me to be on a record label, obviously, I must have had some kind of getting this notoriety that you're going to benefit as well. But I just need to be compensated to handle some of my business. The same way if I just put you on my album for free, you're going to benefit off that. Or work with me, you're going to benefit, and you can take that and make opportunity out of that. So that's how I'm looking at it. I need to handle my bills, and trust me, like it'll be worth it because I'm going to still be promoting you. If you look at the stuff that I post online, I copy and paste over a lot of people that I work with. Big list of people, some of my accomplishments, magazines, publications, all of that, and your name will be added. So that's like you getting a part of my legacy for free. It's like, come on, so why allow people to exploit me in that way?
Let me ask you this, because a lot of times when some of these artists are working with the majors, maybe Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, something like that, whatever, they're doing a feature for them, the artist may not promote the song. What's up with that? Do you think more artists need to, even the bigger artists need to take, pride in their own work, even though they're doing a feature? Shouldn't they promote the artist, even though that artist might be smaller than them?
I try to promote everybody. If you look at, like I said, on my IGs, it's the real Percee P. If you look at my posts, it could be a live performance clip of me, 1 minute performance, but I'm still gonna paste Percee P. I work with, Percee P. One of the whatever how I say it, but then it's gonna lead into all these names of artists, and I don't discriminate people. It's gonna be bigger names. You're gonna see some obscure names there, but I feel this is my way to show you I'm still acknowledging you. Even though we did the song, I'm still posting this. Your name is there. You can use that as a reference for other people. Yeah, Percee P. Yeah, I heard him. I work with him. Where you go on his page, look, and you can see it. Like, wow, okay. But at the same time, that's a way for me to let other up and coming producers or artists that want to work with me. Yo, he's promoting cats, man. Maybe it is worth if we just do what we need to do to work with him. Trust me, what I'm charging cats, I could be charging more. I know I'm worth more, but I'm not going to try to undermine myself as well. There's people that will charge way more, and I know I'm worth. But a certain thing, it's like if you can't afford a certain price, I would just say, yo, just take payment plans. I do that. I take plans, installments and stuff. So you could go that route too. You don't have to really have the whole amount. The way a label could just pay entirely, whole payout. But it's like, yo, I take those small increments, like, yeah, just do it like that and get it done. And on the last payment, I just hit the studio or something, you know, and send you all the stems, the acapellas, ad-libs, whatever you need, and do that. But once it's out there, I will help promote it, the
All
song.
right, all
And
right.
if you need me
I
for
like
something, you know what I'm saying? I'll try to, you know, refer other artists to you if you're trying to work with more people. If somebody I know, as long as it's done, I'll say, nah, he handled business. So yeah, reach out to these cats, you know?
I like that. So all those artists out there, you listen to the Pimp Game podcast, you want to work with Percee P, and you want to get on that payment plan, make sure you finish making that payment before he hops on the
Yeah.
track. I like
But
that.
it ain't just about the money. It's just it's look. Like I need to survive. You know, I'm a grown man, and you know, I'm married.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So you know, I got to do what I got to
respect that.
do. But at the same time, I'm using my artistry to be. Well, I work for somebody. If I could work for myself, if I already know there's money to be made
In it,
doing it.
correct.
So if you know any skill you have, man. If you somebody that do hair well, females that could do hair well, instead of you could be doing this from your house. If you're that good, why be you know what I'm saying? Do something else. If you know there's money to be made and people will, and you have clients coming to you, you might well try to be smart, keep it doing it that way, than going out filling out applications. That's the way I think. You know, some people would rather work for other people, but if I can work for myself, I'd rather do that because you don't nobody's you know what I'm saying. You're never gonna make more than your boss. So if you are the boss, then you could at least tell people what you want to get paid rather than people telling you what they're gonna pay you.
Well said. All right. Yo, if you are just joining us, we are live on the Pimp Game Podcast where we highlight positive, intelligent, motivated people each and every single week. And right now we got the Bronx finest. That's right. Boogie Down in the building. Mr. Percee P himself, hip hop legend, right here on the Pimp Game Podcast. So let me ask you this. This has been bugging me for a while. I always hear it. And I want to ask you, because you've been in the industry for a while now, Illuminati, not to speak a whole lot on it, but is that a thing where these people are coming to you off the
Right.
rip if you're in the industry or if you're, how does
Well,
that work? If you know, if you don't know, don't tell
yeah,
us,
I ain't
obviously.
never had
What,
nobody come to me, but that's not nothing that I feel like I would want to do. If somebody say, "Yo, if you just do this, we'll put you on this plateau and as an artist." And if it's things that I feel that don't sit well with me, I'm not going to sell my soul to do something like that. It's like I'm not, you know, I'm not down on nobody, but I would just say like I grew up in the housing project. People sell drugs, people do a lot of things there. I could have partook and a lot of things, but I didn't do it. So just to say, as an artist, I could rap about a lot of stuff that people talk about to feel like, oh, this is what everybody's talking about. So I got to talk about this. And because I'm from a housing project and the type of area where I'm from, the South Bronx, people sometimes want to just stereotype you as an artist. Oh, I know he's going to talk about this. He's from the project, so you know he's going to be talking about how many people he done killed and the drugs he sold. But I don't try to do that as an artist. You know, sometimes you don't have to talk about certain things, but people will know. Obviously, from where you're from, you know about these things, but you just ain't got to glorify it. And I never glorified it. So that's something that I wouldn't never do. If somebody came to me and said, yo, Percee, I want you to just do this and we'll put you on this level. But if it's something that I feel like I don't agree with, and I don't condone, I'm not gonna do it for the money. And even if it's, well, you could be more bigger than you is as an artist, it won't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna do that. You know what I'm saying?
well said. So you alluded to people, you know, maybe they got gun action in their songs and things of that nature as it relates to hip hop and rap music. Why do you think that is? Because I know, let me say this, I know that maybe that's the agenda that's being pushed from, you know, the higher ups or the elites, whatever. Can't the artist say no to that? Like, look, I'm not going to do that, because when you speak about those things, somebody out there that's real in real life, they actually go out there and execute it because they're listening to that type of music. What do you say to that, to those artists out there that's still portraying gun violence in their music?
Well, I mentioned guns in my rhyme, but I don't glorify it. It's more like I'll state things that's more like metaphoric things. I just find my stuff when I rhyme, it's metaphors. So I spit rhymes like I spit at you like a 9 Miller do, feel and kill the crew. When syllables connect, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And you know, so I describe it like a gun, but it's not. But I'm saying lyrically, I'm like this. I can splatter your brain, leave scattered remains of matter and stains. That'll explain how you was battered and slain. See, I'm saying the same thing. I could say I stand in the block, grand in my sock. Fans that would spot me handed the guap over demand of my stock, and it was hot. It's like I'm hustling drugs, but I'm talking about my music. See, you could. It depends on how you describe things to people. That I'm still from the hood, but I don't gotta glorify the violence. I could say things, but without making it mean this and that. You know what I'm saying? So it's about this, how you use your brain to say things, but also as far as people that just, some people, I'm not going to down people that talk about it, because some people might be in the gang life and stuff, and that where they from, that's what they felt they had to do. I'm just saying, I grew up in that environment too, but I just didn't choose to do it. But some people feel like, well, I did go through people dying around me, and I'm rhyming about it. This is dedicated to my man that got killed, so they're making songs about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. And there's a lot of artists that's good artists. I met artists that talk about that, but that's good people. They're straight, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna like trying to like downplay them. You know what I'm saying? That's the artists that I work with that rhyme about that too. But they good to me, and I see the goodness in them, but I'm just saying I wouldn't do it.
I like that. So you've also worked with, obviously you mentioned Big Daddy Kane,
Yeah,
also Special Ed. How
yeah.
was it working with Special Ed? How was that? What's the difference between the two, working with Big Daddy Kane and Special Ed? Two hip hop legends in the
Yeah.
game. What's the difference between
Well,
working with them?
yeah, both of them from the '80s, just like myself. So I feel glad, and I take that pride, proudly, just to say I'm from the '80s, and I ain't putting that down with like the '90s. Yeah, the '90s is a great time, but I feel like I predate that. So I am associated. I came out in the '80s, '88. That's when my first recording was. So I'm proud about that. But those two artists was a major artist at that time. You know, when they came out, like Big Daddy Kane. So he was just part of the Juice Crew, which was a highly recognized crew at the time and notable, and they had a lot of respect. And he was a part of a lineage of greatness. You know what I'm saying? Everybody down with that crew: MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, Kane Bismarcky, rest in peace to him. Coogee Rap. I'll be doing a song with him. My next 45 will be with Coogee Rap. A lot of them, great MCs. Now, and I feel honored. And me and Big Daddy Kane, we did a song together, rhyming together for Jurassic 5. They paid both of us. But also, I've been on projects that Kane has been featured on, like a DJ named JS1. I'm on his compilation. We have a lot of artists on it. Special Letters on that, and Big Daddy Kane is on that compilation. Not on the same song, they just on it, and I'm on it as well. So even if I didn't rhyme with Kane, they know my name from being on that same compilation. Now with Special Ed, I was on a song that also with Big Daddy Kane. I'm sorry. There's another song I did with a band called Connie Price and the Keystones, live band. I did tours with them and everything and shows. But Big Daddy Kane is on the flip side of the song that I did with the band, a song called International Hustler. And on the flip side is Big Daddy Kane songs. Both of us is using that band, Connie Price and the Keystones from LA. I just put that out there. Special Ed, I'm featured on a song with him because of my man Wild Child. He's the artist that was on Stone Store as well, Stone Store Records. He was down with Mad Lib and DJ Rome's. It was called the Loop Pack. But when Wild Child went independent and solo as an artist, because Mad Lib stopped rapping, so Wild Child went solo. He asked me on that first album that as a solo artist, his first independent project he put out. But I was asked to be on a song with him, Master Ace, Special Ed, and MC Light. So that's how I wound up on that song. It's called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's the song.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So, being a part of a record label, hip hop legend in yourself, Mr. Percee P himself, the record contract. Let me ask you about that. These 360 deals, were they giving it out back then, or that's a thing that they just started maybe in the early 2000s? And in your opinion, were they giving out those 360 deals back then?
No, I don't think they was, but I think that came out later on, down the years later, like 2000, like you said. I think that was a way for labels to be able to capitalize off of artists more, because of ways that they was trying to make money started becoming few. Like people started to make money off the internet and do things, and it started getting harder to sell records. So they felt like, how could we recoup if people could just get the music on downloading stuff off the internet, and it's like they can't get people to buy it. So people sometimes would I'm gonna just download off this website and get the whole album. So they feel like if I sign this artist and we gave him millions, let's just say if I gave him 5 million, whatever, and whatever we put into this artist, how could we get our money back if people just trying to get everything for free? So they figure like, well, I know what we could do if we sign them to this label. Sign them to this label, but also put that if you sign with us, we give you this 360 deal. But that means once you sign it, any way you make money, we get a percentage to get our money back. So that means if somebody came to you tomorrow, say, yeah, I want you to be in a movie, Kenny D. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pay you 10 million to be in this movie. This is something that you're an artist. You signed this label, but they ain't got nothing to do with the music. Somebody just came to you and put you in a movie. They're gonna feel like because you signed at 360, they deserve to get part of that 10 million you got to recoup what they gave you. Same way if you just win the lotto today. You won the lotto out of nowhere. They gonna claim, well, we're supposed to get our money back from that because you already signed it. So anyway, you're gonna get compensated. But anyway, they're gonna feel like you signed off on this paper and we deserve to get some of that. So you don't want to put yourself in that kind of position as any artist. I think should never probably, you know what I'm saying? I don't think, but some people are so hungry just for the fame that the sign, they'll do it, but I wouldn't do it.
So
I'd rather be independent. Sorry. Okay.
Let me ask this. In terms of the touring, right? Because a lot of artists tour, that's how they make their money. Are the record labels taking their percentage on touring too?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing that. And sometimes they will invest in it. And I'm not gonna put out there like I'm a master the business and because most artists be learning as things go. I was started off young, so it's like sometimes you learn about trial and error. Like, damn, I didn't know about this. I didn't know too much about that part of the business. But you just rapping, but you still got to learn about other things. Sometimes you get burned. Sometimes you get jerked around, and you hearing information from other artists. Oh, you got to do this. You got to make sure you're published. Don't sell your publishing. What's that? Like, you asking new questions. So most people learn as you go, and a lot of the pioneers probably didn't know none of this. They didn't even know the music business was going to take off the way it took off. Like now, I didn't know about TV and music could be licensed for that and this. So they were just making songs, and they didn't know that. Yeah, they using your music for this commercial. You didn't sound this and that, and now they ain't receiving money that they could have been compensated for some of this stuff. So that's things that most artists need to learn about, as far as with the business. For any business, you know what I'm saying? Try to learn the background and the back end ways to get money, because if you don't know that, the label know about it. They know about stuff that you don't know. And to put out a song, and you could be licensing your song internationally, and you don't even know about your song could be in movies that you will never see because it's another country. And if you don't know.
Interesting. Yo, this your boy Kenny D. Hey, I didn't mean to interrupt your show, but I just want to take a quick minute, just to let you guys know. If you want to see more dope interviews like this one, make sure you go on YouTube and check out Pimp Game Podcast. All right? And don't forget about our website, pimpgamepodcast.com, to see all your latest Pimp Game episodes. All right? We got you. Man, I'm done talking. Back to the show. So, today's quick topic of the show is rap beefs. Obviously, they got the rap beef going on now with Kendrick Lamar and Drake and all that stuff. What's your thoughts about rap beefs now as comparison to back then when you were coming up in the 80s, 90s, early 20s, all of that, early 2000s? What's the difference between the rap beefs now as opposed to back then, in your opinion?
I think back in the days, it was more about the competitive nature, and it was more like for fun. It wasn't like real beef. And now hip hop was like competitive. It's like playing basketball. You think you're the best, well, I'm better than you. I know. Let's go on the court. It's the same thing, but it's sad that it get to the point where you're trying to do something that another artist's doing, but if they think they're better than you, the best way is to maybe, all right, we're gonna have a concert, something. We're gonna see who's gonna rip the show better. But it's sad when entourages, people that be behind you, sometimes could initiate the beef or physical beef. Like, yeah, man, we see them cats, we're gonna have our guns and we're gonna do this to them, and that's where things get messed up because of the early pioneers didn't go through that. Cold Crush battle Fantastic Five, Harlem World, that didn't turn into no beef. Mo D and Busy B, when Mo D did what he did to Busy B, that didn't get physical. That was just like on a cassette tape, spread it around. And then as time went on, you had MC Shan with Karis One. That still, I'm not gonna say I was there, but it could have got physical, but somehow they didn't. With Karis One and Shan, I heard they even took it on the road with each other just to capitalize off the hype that it garnered. You know what I'm saying? So that's what artists needed to do. Me and Lord Finesse, my man, peace to Lord Finesse, you know what I'm saying? The first time I battled him, I battled him in July 13th, 1989, which is on YouTube. You can see it. It's one of the first recorded rap battles, because before that is audio. Our battle was caught in the projects. Where I'm from, Patterson Projects in the Bronx. So just imagine an artist coming to someone else's project. But because he knew people from the project as well, but nobody came at him like that. Like, yo, what you doing right here? And did something physical. Because the same thing could have happened in retaliation if something had happened. Something could have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's what people don't think. As an artist, the best thing you want to do is try to be able to go places. So why do something physical when you still know you have to travel as an artist to promote your music, and you're not worried about that? Like people coming up to retaliate. You vulnerable when you have to go places like that and do tours and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to be in good everywhere you go with people. And yeah, you might have some haters, but don't go out with the intention of, yeah, we'll ever see these guys. So I'm just saying, as far as the beef, the competition part is always a part of hip hop because it's always a competitive thing. But I would just think it should be more peaceful. Like, yeah, let's try to make something out of this, exploit this so we can get paid off of it. And maybe if all of our fans come and see us booked at the same show together, it'll come bring out a lot of our audience, and we get a chance to see who really better. Me and Lord Finesse, our battle that we had July 13th, 1989. We did a show 2014 together, booked together for the very first time in Bristol, UK. That was June 21st. Then December 2014, that's when me and him did a European tour together. Now, there's two MCs that battled together. Back in the days, we had a battle, but we did a tour together in 2000s. And look, all our shows were sold out. But we did it for hip hop's sake because we know the fans overseas heard about the battle, they saw it on YouTube. But to have us together, like, wow, they together now, they rocking. And at the same show, you could see them both do their own set. Percee P do his full set, the Lord Finesse come on and do his thing. And it wasn't no beef. It was like we came together more, let's just do this, man, because we got a history. Now, just imagine Karis went to MC Shan said, yo, let's just take this show, do this on the road. You got other artists that had better. I said the same thing. I told this to people. Super Nat and Craig G could do the same thing. We're gonna have just go on the road, just do like one time only tour that me and him are gonna do together. That's right there. People are gonna come to that. There's artists like 50 Cent when he had the beef with Ja Rule. It was sad because I mean I'm not gonna say I know the business about it, the background, but I'm just saying what it could have meant for hip hop. Both of them, Ja Rule was a big name. Then 50 Cent came, both big, but just what if they both would have did a tour together? That could have garnished a lot of money, but I'm not going to get into all that because it almost got like violence, so I'm just going to leave that alone. But there's other things like when Fat Joe, I heard the background with that. He even had problems, and they smashed it because of Chris Lighty, but they went on to make money. So I always figured to overshadow that, to come together, it's better to work together to get some money than just be beef. You know what I'm saying? Tupac and Biggie, that could have went on to be a lot of money if both of them were still alive. You know what I'm saying? To smash that.
Wow.
So
Let me ask you that, because I never thought about that, but that is dope to have two rappers beefing initially, then you come back and do like a tour with both of them. That would be monumental, whatever you want to call it, Billboard, all of that. Why do you think most labels they're not looking to do that?
because it's like almost they feel like they could exploit. And that's as a black man, look, I'm a black man first. So I don't want to see my people like that. I'd rather see more us unified. But it's in like for other people, maybe it's to their benefit. Oh, we could get them battling. A lot of people are going to watch it. What you going to watch? Like boxing. You're going to watch boxing if people beefing, yeah, before a fight. Oh, I want to see this fight. But it could lead to something detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather, y'all just come together, man. Let's try to make the money. Just like Mike Tyson, I saw a video with him and I'm trying to think the boxer from both of them from Brownfields, Brooklyn, and it was a updated footage of them seeing each other some years ago in the street, like there was play fighting, and those little kids, everybody was screaming like, "Oh, they about to fight!" Tyson took off his shirt. Both of them took their shirts off and was playing like they were gonna box. And I forgot who it was. I'm trying to think. The
Sugar
boxer.
Ray Leonard?
No. Somebody that fought Mike Tyson back in the day. I think
Foreman.
Red Biggs or something. I forgot his name. Something big.
Biggs.
He's a boxer from Brownsville, Brooklyn, and both of them saw each other and was standing there just talking. And next thing you know, what you want to do? Both of them pull up their shirts out on the street, and people watch it. Oh, people have their phones out, but that's viral. That just show you right there. If they would just say, "Yo, matter of fact, we're gonna have a real fight in some way. Somebody's gonna put money behind that. See that? You know what I'm saying?"
Mm.
So
wow,
it's always some people willing to exploit negativity, something like that. Well, it's a lot of money behind people beefing and all that. So yeah, people will want to see, but I would just think more people should want to see more of the unification of artists coming together.
True, very true indeed. So let me ask you this: in seeing the unity and things like that, in your opinion, why do you think unity isn't celebrated as much as negativity? Negativity travels a long way, but someone does something positive, that maybe Diddy does a charity for 20 million to some church out there, something like that. Yeah, you might hear about it, but it doesn't travel the way his audio is traveling with him and Meek Mill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, in your opinion?
I don't know that people gravitate towards more negativity than positive. And it's like that. Like if you go on the street, let's just say if you won 100 million, you and you went on the street and say, I got 100 million, I'm gonna take 10 million, and every homeless person I see, people on the street, I'm just gonna walk up to them and hand them like $200 here. It's 200. They look in their hand like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You just did that. Goodness to your heart, taking 10 million out of your 100 million, just to see anybody you see homeless struggling. You just walk up to them, you ain't gotta know what you're doing. You just, hey, how you doing today? And they just stand there looking at you and you say, hey, I got something for you. And they look and it's 200. Do you know what you just did and you doing? There's gonna be still people saying bad things about you. Do you believe that?
I believe
That
it.
people gonna find something still negative to say, or all the positive things you're doing, they're still gonna be looking for the negative. And it's sad when people would do that to people. Somebody's trying to do something good, and they just like the battle. Like even when J. Cole dropped out, you have people still like, oh man, he's a sucker. Why you do like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. That's
People
true.
like, and it's sad because it's like, really, like y'all want to like see something happen so bad. He's a dope artist. He's a good artist, but it's like when people just want to fall back because he probably in his thinking, he probably saying I'd rather have more unification with my people than the negative going at them, and people mad at that. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. It's the mentality of some people. They have that kind of mentality. So that's always going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be the negative out here with positive. And it's sad, but it's like that in the world. It's the world we live in.
Well said, well said. That is the truth, nothing but the truth. So, you alluded to it earlier, you being in film and doing things for gaming. How did that come about? Can you talk to us real quick about how you got into the film industry and
Well,
gaming?
I would say I'm not. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm in the film industry. My song just happened to be got placement. So it wasn't my doing. So I'm not gonna say like it was I knew who did it. I was just blessed to be able to be on songs that got 7 different places on video games. 7 different video games got my song on the soundtrack. Five of them are skating games and 2 basketball games. Then song like The Shy that comes on Showtime. The Shy,
Right.
you know that
I
show.
know.
The first season, episode 6, they played one of my songs with Madlib on the first season. You just hear the song playing in the background. If you knew the song, then it's Percee P song right there. But I was fortunate. I did get a little something for that. But at the same time, that's a blessing because that's giving me exposure that I could utilize and say, look, they played my song on this, or this Hollywood Homicide movie with Harrison Ford. Look, that's the song with me and Big Daddy Kane featuring Jurassic 5 put out. That's the songs. So you can't say I'm not getting out there. You might say he's an underground artist, but that's mainstream exposure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say, oh, he's just an underground rapper when the songs is on TV. I feel personally, more people probably heard me on the video games than my actual music. The reason why I would say that is because younger kids, let's just say young kids play them video games, but they probably wouldn't buy my album will listen to me as an artist, but they probably heard of me on them video games. Just like older, some video games got different variety of ages playing. You have older people playing them video games, the basketball games, and they probably, who that dude right there? I like that song. And it's Percee P, some artist named Percee P. Now it's up to them to Google me and discover I make more records. But my first exposure to a lot of people probably more on them video games. Because them video games is worldwide, distributed worldwide when they come out, you know?
Okay. Well said, well said. So if anybody wants to do a feature with Mr. Percee P himself, they want to write for you, I don't know, collab with you, maybe you write for them.
Well,
how do they get in contact with Percee P if they want to work with you?
My email, I'm on IG, Twitter, The Real Percee P. Don't just spell it right. You know what I'm saying? It's Perceeep, but it's The Real Percee P, all one word, on Instagram or Twitter. My email is anotherbronxlegend@gmail.com. That's my email address. So you can hit me up and it'll be me writing you back. Ain't gonna be some person that's so-called handler, it's me. So you're talking to me directly. And we'll work something out. I'm not gonna say I'm some rich artist. I'm not no rich artist. I'm just trying to survive like everybody else, but I'm just trying to utilize my talent to do so. You know what I'm saying? And I know I put in a lot of work for years, and I feel proud. And it's just that, I just can't, as long as I'm doing this and people know, yo, he's still good. This is his music because it's wrong. He still can spit, and people gonna reach out to me. I'm not going to really do it for free because I just feel like it's taking a long time just to come up with what I'm writing. So it should be compensated for that time I'm putting into this just to give away just like that. It should be like find that person that willing to, compensate me, and I help promote and push them, and hopefully they'll be like a big name. And I want to see that for anybody work with me. If you're not already established and got a name, I want to see me be attached to somebody that take off and like, that song, and next thing you know, they're big names. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see that.
Okay. Well said. So any future projects we can look forward to, or what you got going on right now, Mr. Percee P himself? Any future projects you got going on right now?
I have, my next, like I said, my next 45, this is 45 out right now. This is just cats that reached out to me, like I said, for features. A lot of people, I'm available for hire. So these cats reached out to me from Denmark and TT5BR, right? When the produce, but reached out to me saying, how much would you charge? And I told them my rate, and we'd love to do not one, but we're gonna do 2 songs with you. Word? Okay. So now the verse, I'm gonna do a full song. Okay, so I did that. It's the first one. The next one is coming out was a me and Coogee rap. You know what I'm saying? So that's they financing that. But they told me, song's coming out dope. We want to do another one if you're down. See, it's up to me. If I want to say, I don't want to do no more. But okay, because y'all seem to be, you're not no problem when it comes to compensation. But at the same time, y'all believe in me as an artist and push it.
Right.
And so that's all I care about, keeping my name out there and working with everybody. My man Jake Ferguson, he's from the Heliocentrics, live band from the UK. Y'all look them up. The Heliocentrics. Anyway, me and MF Doom, rest in peace to him. Me and MF Doom did a song featured on their project, the Heliocentrics album. They did a 12-inch called Distant Star. Doom passed away. Their bass player from the Heliocentrics started his own independent label. He's still with the band, but he started his own independent label on the second album, which is coming out this month. I was asked to be on that album, and the first single is with me. The song is called Cut the Check. That's about reparations. So you already know. All right. So, as a black man, hey, in America, it fits for right now. CHEQUE, not CHECK, but we just changed the spelling. But that's what it's about, social justice and reparations. So you hear the song, and I ain't lying. You just hear it for yourself. And it's a good song. It's on BBE Records. So they put that out. So I put that on my YouTube playlist. For those that want to hear, I forgot to mention, my YouTube playlist is, just type in Percee P, Real, Recognize Real. Percee P, Real, Recognize Real. Please subscribe to my channel because I got other playlists on my channel. I got R&B style. I love R&B. I got my R&B playlist that I made so you can hear what I like. live clips of artists performing. I've made a playlist of live performances of R&B groups, people. So you're gonna get a chance to see what I like besides MCing, you know what I'm saying? But I got my own music and stuff. I made a playlist with my own stuff. But check out that Percee P, Real Recognize Real, because you're gonna see myself performing different places like internationally, like Australia, Japan, UK, Europe, Canada, US, but also other artists talking about me, different artists that mentioning me. Like, so you can see I am acknowledged by other people. So that's what I want. It's not what you say, it's what other people could say about you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that matters too. So I made that playlist for myself because I feel the need. Yeah, there's a lot of people that might not know who I am because I'm not like a commercial artist that everybody know, like a Tupac, a Biggie, like I'm not known visually. But if you've been in hip hop as long from way, way back and you really die hard head, you have discovered me somehow. You'd have heard of me because even in May 92 issue of the Source magazine, I was a hip hop quotable, the rhyme of the month. And everybody was reading the Source magazine. Every issue, you're gonna see who's the dopest rhyme of the month. In May 92 issue, that was Percee P. You're looking at the man. So that's a saying. If you'd have been in hip hop deep, you'd have heard me. The Stretch Armstrong Barbados show, you'd have heard me on there because I bought people. I bought DMX down there back in like 91 when most people didn't know who he was. But I did shows with him when I made my first record at a club called the Castle in the Bronx. So I've been, because I'm into hip hop so deep, I've been at the places where artists would have been if they was when they was trying to make it. I was there too, even though I made records. I'll be at the open mic showcases, still coming through, selling my cassettes and then the CDs. And so that's how I met a lot of artists before they blown up because I was places where they was at before they met. So that's how a lot of people say, yeah, you can't, if you don't know me, it's probably because you probably wasn't around. So, you know what I'm saying? Yourself. You
Okay,
know what I'm saying?
okay. So, real quick, DMX, you said you had a shot to, kind of bless the stage with
He's on
him.
my he's on my YouTube playlist. Yeah, yeah. Look,
How was it working with or seeing him perform? How was it seeing for DMX? How was it seeing DMX perform?
he's a dope performer, but back in those days, he wasn't who he is now. Who most people know him now because he became this multi-million hit recording artist. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, this is when he was trying to make a name for himself. So there's a club in the Bronx called the Castle. Every Thursday night, these guys, they call it House Party Entertainment. These guys had House Party Entertainment on Thursday nights where they had DJ Kid Capri, legendary DJ Kid Capri. They had him as the house DJ. And my DJ at the time, my man DJ E. Kim, he was the house DJ along with Kid Capri every Thursday. So because we was down with him, we was in a group called Top Priority. E. Kim was our DJ, me and my partner Danique, the hypnotic performer. We was the MCs. We made our first record, Let the Homicides Begin, in 1988. And we talking about killing competition with a title like that, Let the Homicides Begin. It's about killing the competition lyrically through our skills and all that. But anyway, the guys met us and allowed us to be a part of the people they're managing, House Party Entertainment. They had artists they called House Party All-Stars. So DMX the Great at the time. Top Priority was me and my partner and our DJ, E. Kim, which they allowed to DJ every Thursday with Kid Capri. Then they had Top Quality and DJ Shabazz. He was a DJ that was down with the Masters of Ceremonies, who Grand Puba, who was down with Brand Nubians. He was part of that group before Brand Nubians, but DJ Shabazz was the DJ for Masters of Ceremonies. So I go back to like those times, and that's how DMX knew me. So by the time Stretch and Bobito come around, the Source magazine, matter of fact, take cassettes of DMX rhyme and just freestyling, and they wanted to they made him an unsigned hype because Source had also a part of every issue unsigned hype, artists that's unsigned that they think, yo, I need to hear this so labels could try to gravitate and get them signed. But he made the unsigned hype. But I know DMX before that. So when I was going to Stretch and Barbito, I was a part of this show since the third episode on the air. I was invited to the second show, it didn't come. The third show, I went down there and I met like Large Professor, who I met at P Rock House. But going down there, when I rhymed for the very first time, that's how I wound up getting a deal with Big Beat Records. And me just having access to come to the show, I was bringing artists to the people I knew. Yo, you want to come to the radio? Bought DMX, bought Ultramagnetic for the first time, like Kool Keith and Said G, all of them. So different artists, and I'm just bringing them down. And I was around when other artists was just down there. I could just be there, and next thing you know, this Easy Mo B chilling with his group Riff at the time, and I'm just down there because I could just go. I had access to come if I wanted. So like that, and that's how I met a lot of artists and stuff. So that's,
Okay.
but I met DMX just performing at the Castle, and years later he just wound up blowing up on Def Jam, and everybody knew him. So he knew me from back then. But you could see him on my YouTube playlist saying this.
Okay. 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 All right. Well said. Well said. Well said. So, for all those people out there who was rocking with you back in the Bronx when you first met your homeboys and you rapping, all of that on stage with Big Daddy Kane, working with Special Ed, any final thoughts or shout outs for your fans before we
Yeah,
sign off on Pimp
like I
Game?
said, so all the people that still rock with me, thank y'all. For all those that their first time exposure to me and who is Percee P, look up just go to my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube playlist, Percee P, Real, Recognize Real. There's live clips of me, there's links I put there so you can read more about me in the description part of the video. And do your research on me. I understand that you probably didn't know me, but you're gonna learn about me when you're looking at the playlist. It's like 200 videos. So you're gonna see clips of me over here. The artists you see me rapping with that maybe you never heard of, look them up. So you can see, wow, this guy had like 7 albums. Oh, these are legendary people. I ain't never heard of these cats. But the people you listen to probably heard of me and the artists that's I rap with, like Drake. He's a big name, but I made a record with a guy named Maestro Fresh West, who's a Canadian hip hop legend from Toronto. He's a legendary cat. Most people know Drake, but Drake was listening to Maestro Fresh West. And Maestro had me on his album back in like 94. So I'm just trying to say, sometimes do the research on the people behind the man that you listening to, who inspired the people you like. Just do the research on those people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Well said. Well said. So, before we let you go, tell everybody who you chilling with.
I'm chilling here with my man Kenny D, and you're watching the Pimp Game podcast. Word up.
All right. Now that concludes our show for this evening. But before I let you go, I'd like to thank all my viewers out there as well as my YouTube lovers. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That's right. You're going to subscribe and make sure you turn those notifications on so when we upload videos, you are the first to get it. And last but not least, we'd like to thank the one and only Boogie Down Bronx finest, Mr. Percee P himself, for blessing us with his presence on the show. All right? See you next time on Pimp Game. You don't want to miss it. Holla.